Good morning, sunshine. You want to know who my favorite person on the internet is right now? You might have heard of him. His name is Atozy. He makes content about Johnny Somali with a very Johnny Somali specific niche. And he's made a lot of really great videos like why I love Johnny Somali and how I've gotten 1 million views on every single video with Johnny Somali in the thumbnail. And my personal favorite, how Johnny Somali paid my rent. This man has to be Johnny Somali's biggest fan. And I don't want this video to come off as like I'm defending Johnny Somali or I'm like secretly in love with the man. I just want to meet ride him. I don't give a shit. I really couldn't care less about this fucking person in the slightest. This not even that. This is how much I care. Negative. I've never looked up or went out of my way to see anything about Johnny Somali. Anything that I know about Johnny Somali or that has been forced upon me about Johnny Somali has been unconsensual. Just like a mysterious man in a trench coat in an alleyway just flashed straight into my face unwillingly. And at the end of the day, my impression of him, which isn't that much and isn't very good, is he's a dumb dipshit that is getting what he deserves. He's facing prison time, and honestly, the situation's fucking over. But not for some people. Some people want to document every single goddamn second of this man's life. Specifically, Atozy. You know, I haven't seen an Atozy video in years, dude. In years, man. And I used to watch his content. This has to be like 4 or 5 years ago. It's the last time I've seen an Atozy video, and I almost forgot the man exists. And then he had a video that showed up in my recommended about Johnny Somali. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's alive? That's crazy. So then I go in, I watched a couple of his videos on Johnny Somali, and then I realized he had a bunch of them. And then I went and looked more in the last couple other videos he's been making. And it's like, dude, YouTube has taken this man's soul. YouTube has taken this man's soul. Shang Tsung, your soul is mine. Sucking that shit straight out of his fucking eye sockets, dude. He has no life behind there. And all of his videos have like maybe one joke that's pretty fucking bland and boring. It's all just such bland, boring slop that's just, okay, here's the situation, guys, and then going over the fucking... That was Moist Critical. I don't know why I did that. He's catching strays for no reason. But same thing goes for him. But he doesn't harp and document one goddamn situation for months, dude. This man, Atozy, had to have been 10, maybe 20 or more videos just on Johnny Somali in the last couple months. And all of them are raking in like basically 1 million plus views. And the way I see it, this situation is over. It's been over for a while now, right? You've gotten your cathartic ending. This man is facing prison time. He is probably not going back to America in a very long while. You've seen him beaten in the streets, I think multiple times at this point, right? You've gotten your cathartic ending. This situation has been over for a while, and the moral of the story and the takeaway of all of it in the end is don't be an attention-seeking little bitch, even if it pays the bills. Because if you are, you'll end up like Johnny Somali. Boom, book closed. We end it there. You can ship that shit off to a publication company, and that is the stories for children. That is folk tales for children and life lessons, along with things like, what is that Scorpion the Frog story or the Boy Who Cried Wolf, right? Don't be like Johnny Somali. That shit is biblical, dude. Don't be an attention-seeking little bitch. It isn't worth it. But this whole situation, every part of it is so perverse, of course. Not only is it's like, yes, he's being an attention-seeking bitch for attention, to get money, for views, and all that kind of thing. And that's why he does the thing he does. Okay, who cares? But then his followers are a bunch of perverted bastards because, of course, this is the only reason you'd watch Johnny Somali is to see him do outlandish, stupid things. So, of course, you're going to come to his channel to see him do outlandish, stupid things. So the only people who watch him are dumb pieces of shit. And nobody cares about this man in the slightest, right? And then the people who do document all of this stuff are just doing it for views at this point. You're beating a dead horse. This is beyond beating a dead horse. You are mutilating this horse until it's nothing but a pile of meat and bones, right? But then you've got the people watching this content from, you know, people like Atozy who's documenting every single second of his life, which at this point, after you've gotten your ending, after you've gotten your cathartic ending, right? And this situation has pretty much been set in stone. Nothing really can change at this point. It can really only get worse, right? After you've already seen that, what is there for you to see anymore? Why do you care? And the only reason I can imagine anybody watching these videos at this point is they get off on this shit. This is hate porn at this point. People are sitting there stroking and jarking to these videos because the only reason I can imagine you'd care or even want to watch these is because you like seeing this man's downfall. You like seeing his life fall apart. And look, I don't want to sit here on my high horse and act like some kind of, arbiter of morality and tell you right and wrong and shit, because that's lame and gay, and my name's not Dave Rubin. But in all seriousness, this can't be healthy. This is not healthy behavior. And I mean, you can just scroll down to any comment section about Johnny Somali, and it's all just anger, vitriol, and hate. And, people in the modern day and age, they want to go in and talk about how bad the internet is and everything's just rage bait. And that kind of stuff. But it's like, dude, you eat this shit up. Don't pretend. You love it. You love the internet now. You love the rage bait. You love this shit. You love gobbling up this slop. That's how you get your sick kicks. Don't deny it. Don't lie to me. You're a pervert. You're a dirty little kinky pervert. And you get off on this. But you know who loves it even more than you do? Even more than your sadistic fucked up mind, right? You know who loves it even more? Atozy. He fucking loves this shit, dude. And especially he loves Johnny Somali, And my last couple of weeks have been so good. They've been so fine. I've been doing great like this last month or so, nothing but working and then gaming. Tekken 8 is finally getting what it always deserved at launch. Fatal Fury just came out. I've been grinding that shit, and I'm going to try and get to S rank and then make an hour-long video talking shit about how bad the game is like I do with everything. And then the Oblivion Remastered came out, so I've been playing Oblivion. Not the remaster, though, because I'm a contrarian little bitch and I'm poor. But yeah, I've been having a really good last couple of weeks getting taxed by the IRS and gaming. And, my last couple of weeks have been so fine until I see another fucking Atozy video in my goddamn recommended. And at this point, I'm like, he can't keep getting away with this. And it's like, at some point, when does it end? When does this stop? When do we stop documenting every single second about this man's life and we reach an actual satisfying conclusion and we're done with Johnny Somali and we move on? And the real answer is, when it ends is when Atozy stops pulling in 1 million views on a video. Hey guys, today Johnny Somali just woke up and had a bowl of cereal without any milk. I mean, this is deranged behavior. At this point, Johnny Somali has gone way, way too far. I think it's safe to say that we're dealing with a legitimate psychopath here. But regardless, yes, Johnny Somali is a piece of shit, and I'm not defending him or his actions. Fuck that guy. But, I mean, the way that the internet works, where we put people on a pedestal and, oh, this guy is a really bad dude, and this guy talked about him being a bad dude, that makes this person the greatest man in the world. And he's completely immune to any kind of criticism or critique in the slightest. I don't like the way that works. And I don't like the way how, in the modern internet, you have a situation and then the situation is crazy, and then you just keep repeating, and then you just keep dragging it through the mud and pulling it along a lot more than it should, just because views, money, views and money, that kind of thing. And I don't want to rag just on Atozy, because it's not just him. And there's a lot of people who do a lot of the same thing